Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gina, and let's talk about plants. So today's video, and in case you couldn't tell, I've got you guys on a selfie stick here. I can't believe I have a selfie stick. I thought it might be useful for video making, and this is gonna be my first time really using it. So in this video today, there's my buddy here, that's Nikki. So in today's video, we are going to be going to the grow tent. I asked you guys if you'd be interested in seeing the grow tent, a little tour of the grow tent, and you guys said yes. So that's what we're gonna do. And the grow tent is located in my basement. So we're headed down to the basement. The dark, it's not a fancy basement. It's your typical dark, just kind of icky basement. Although, you know, the house isn't that old, so I've had houses with worse basements, so it's not that bad, but it's just kind of chaotic down there. There's just a lot of stuff down there, but we're just going to be looking at the grow tent, and it should be pretty interesting. So yeah, let's go. I guess let's just go head down there. Okay, so we are leaving. This is my office. We are leaving, and we are walking. We are headed to the basement. It's not that far. It's not that far to go to the basement. I don't want you to see this. It's such a mess. It's such a mess. Okay, here's some planty mess. Let me turn the light on. There, you can see my planty mess. This is just where I keep, well, there's my tripod, but where I keep most of my plant stuff, my plant gear, pots, soil, amendments, all that good stuff. So right here, right behind me, this is the grow tent. And I'm gonna flip you around just a second. Okay, so with my grow tent, I do have these controllers on it. So there's two controllers. One controls the humidity and one controls the temperature inside the grow tent. So we are looking at temperature up here. So the high temperature, I have it set to 82 degrees. So it shouldn't go above 82 degrees. Currently it is 81.3 degrees Fahrenheit in there. If the temperature goes above 82, I think it has to hit like 84 before the fan turns on in there and sucks out all the air, sucks out all the heat until it reaches that 82 degree point again, and then it shuts off. So it's a really awesome controller. And then the same here with the humidity. So I have it set to not go below 65% humidity. Currently, the humidity is 81.8% in the grow tent. So if it goes below 65%, which the only time it goes below 65% is when I have the door open on the tent. Otherwise, it stays pretty high. As you can see, almost 82% humidity in there. And if it goes below the 65%, I do have a humidifier in the grow tent, and that will turn on. So yeah, very useful pieces of equipment to have with the grow tent. And this is the Viper Spectra. So I haven't been in there yet today. Okay, so I haven't been in there yet today, so we're just gonna hop on in there and see what's going on. All right, so as you can see, it's very bright in there. It's I'm gonna bring you in, of course, to see closer, but every morning when I open the tent, it's just like this beautiful ray of, it's like there's sun, there's a sun in my grow tent, and it just shines that beautiful light, and all this greenery and this beauty, and it's just such a wonderful feeling. I absolutely love my grow tent. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I do have a mister sitting on the ground here. I have it covered with a towel here just to keep, so no algae starts growing inside that mister. So I am just gonna take that out, remove that so we have more space in here, and then I can bring you guys into the grow tent. So let's go. Okay, so before we step inside, here's a better view of it. The lighting is much better this way. Not such a horrible glare. So here's what's going on in here. So I actually kind of changed out my lighting in this grow tent. I used to have up here and over here, I had really heavy duty lights, and they were very warm. They really brought up the temperature in this grow tent, and for some reason I thought I just had to blast so much light in this tent, and it really doesn't need it. It doesn't need super bright lighting. So these are actual grow lights that I got off Amazon, and I have those under here, under all these shelves. They have those type of lights, and this shelf this side. But over here on this shelf, I just picked up some really cheap like shop lights, but they're daylight lights, and like the daylight spectrum, and they do a fantastic job. All of my plants are growing amazingly under these. They run cool. It's not super hot like those big grow lights I used to have, and it's just awesome. And then I do have 3 fans running in here. This one, there's one in the corner there, and then there's one up here. And then this piece right here, this is a filtration system, and because it can get a little stinky, just like, I don't know if it's like musty smelling or just because it's such a humid environment in here, it just gets a little smelly. And this piece here has a carbon filter on it, and it just totally takes care of any smells. And it's constantly running. There is air blowing out of this. So I think that is all the components in the grow tent. So let's take a look at the plants. Oh, and then also this here is my humidifier. I used to have to fill it up every day, but since I switched out the lights in here, I fill it like once a week at the most. So it barely runs anymore. So, okay, so the door is open, and it's been open for a little bit. Let's check and see what the temp and stuff is looking like in there now. So currently now we're sitting at 77.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and our humidity has dropped to 48%. So the humidifier would be running, but I turned it off, and you know it would be running because this little light is on. So that signals that the humidifier, or that the humidifier is running. And then also the temperature one has a little light like that also. So if I had a heater set up in there, a heater would flip on and bring the temperature back up to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So, all right, let's go back inside. So we're going to see lots of plants in here. These are mostly what I keep in here are plants that I have propagated for my shop, which is thepinktrellis.com. And so that's what the majority of this is. I do have some rehab plants in here, plants that I felt like weren't doing too well upstairs in my regular living space. I'll bring them down here to try and get them looking better. So we have a few of those in here. And then some, we'll just start right here. So like this begonia here. And I'll have to put the name of this begonia on the screen because I can't remember the actual name of it, but this plant did not need rehab, but I felt like it needed a higher humidity because this thing has grown huge. It was a small plant, and I had it in a terrarium, and I shut the terrarium down, so I had to find a place to put the plant. So I stuck it in here, and it's just taken off in here. It's just going insane. So that's the reason it's in here. Just because it needs like terrarium, I feel like it needs terrarium conditions. I don't have that upstairs, so here's where it's living. And this is a plant I'm not sure I'm going to keep. Thinking about selling it. So yeah, that one might be on my purge list. And then this is another begonia here. This is the Begonia Julau. And this one also was in a terrarium, and I shut the terrarium down. And this one definitely needs terrarium conditions. And so I just brought it in here because this is the only good spot for this plant. Love that pink. It's such a beautiful plant. And the spots. This is interesting up here. So it's outgrowing this space, but I like how it's looking spotty up here. So I do need, it's like, so you can see, it's outgrowing this space. So I do need to try and find a better location in here for it. Not sure that there is. Maybe I'll just start chopping it to keep it a small plant. But yeah, and then over here, this is my snow bush. I keep it in here because it needs higher humidity. It wasn't doing so well in the upstairs, so this is the best place for it. And the interesting thing about this plant is last year I did have it upstairs, and in the fall it started like the color started changing on the leaves. Instead of the green and white variegation, it started getting this pink. So I thought it was because it was cooler upstairs. Just, you know, the season changed, it became fall, and it started looking like a fall plant. It was dropping leaves. But it's interesting to me that it's doing that again in my grow tent. And it is a pretty steady, pretty even environment in here. So this plant shouldn't know that it is fall, but apparently it just knows. It just goes through these changes no matter what. So what else? So here's another plant that is it's not a propagation. It's not for resale. This is another one that was just living in one of my terrariums that I shut down. So I just brought it in here to live in here. And this is I believe it's called the asparagus fern. So that one is permanently, I'm not sure yet, living in the grow tent. So more terrarium plants that have come into the grow tent because I shut the terrarium down is this Peperomia Pink Lady. And I have two of these. I have this one, and then I have another one down here in that corner. So these just do better in higher humidity, I've found. So they're just living in here permanently, I think. And then also another plant that came out of one of the same terrariums. This is the Peperomia prostrata, or string of turtles. It is now a permanent resident of the grow tent. It was in the terrarium, and I have two of those. Those are so adorable. I just love these guys. They're doing so well here in the grow tent. And I'd be afraid to take them upstairs because I know they just won't do as well. So I may sell one of these and keep one for myself. And I think, oh, one more that was living in a terrarium, but now it's here in the grow tent permanently. This is the Tradescantia Pink Panther. So big and beautiful. Just love it. So this is another permanent resident of the grow tent. Okay, so another permanent resident of the grow tent now that came from a terrarium is this. This is a peperomia, and I'll put the name on the screen because I think it starts with a P and I always forget the name of it, but it's a really cute one, a real tiny leaf peperomia plant, and it just does really well in terrarium conditions. I don't think it can live outside of a terrarium, and it can get really peachy pink leaves that are just gorgeous. I think it needs really high light in order to get that, but I'm not positive. I'm not positive about that. All I know is this one is a really deep green, and it has like tiny little white spots on it. It's pretty cute. So that one is going to be living in here permanently. Okay, some of my rehab plants that are in here. So first, you guys just recently saw this in my small leaf Hoya video. This is the Hoya Kanyaku Mariana, and this one had stopped growing for me, so I thought I would just try it here in the grow tent to see what would happen, and it has made a huge difference for this plant. I have all kinds of new growth points on it now, and all kinds of cute new little leaves. And what else? So this is a little sad situation here. So this is my anthurium, my queen anthurium. I got this one as this was a import plant that I got, and I had potted it up, if you remember. Some of you might remember. I potted it up into soil, set it on my shelf in my office, and it sat there for a while. And I distinctly remember Cheryl telling me, Gina, you might want to put that one into your greenhouse cabinet, or yeah, I think she said into my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, because she knew it wasn't going to do well on my shelf. And of course, she was right. It did not do well. It rotted, like all the roots rotted. So I had to completely take it out. And I stuck it into this sphagnum moss. It's been in here for probably maybe 2 months now. It's still alive. It gave me this brand new leaf here. I can't see any, oh yeah, I guess there's roots right there. There's some roots. So yeah, this one is a permanent resident of my grow tent. Unless eventually I take it up to my IKEA Millsbo wide with the other anthuriums, but I don't know. I have a feeling this one is going to just be living in here permanently, so we'll see. But at least it's not dead. It's still alive. Okay, so then also over here, we have some of my African violets that I have been growing from just single leaves. So I've been having issues with my African violets just slowly dying off. So I took single leaves, these are single leaf cuttings here, that I took off of the mother plants in hopes of being able to grow a new plant out of them. So far I'm not seeing any new growth on this one, not yet. But this one looked just like that other one we just looked at. And look at all these new leaves. This whole new plant has popped out. So that's really exciting, really happy about that. This is another one. This is the leaf I took from the mother plant, 2 leaves. That leaf there obviously is rotting off, but this one is still kicking. So hopefully we'll get some growth out of that. This one here, this was the original cutting, and it popped out this whole new plant here. So So actually these are going pretty well. I think eventually these will produce some new leaves, and this one also. I'm not seeing anything yet, but I think that one will take as well. So those are some African violet propagations I'm growing. And I'll show you some new plants you guys haven't seen in my collection yet. So this here, this is a Philodendron micans, but this is, I believe it's called Velvet Halo or something like that. It has the variegation on it. I got this one off of Etsy from Botanicas. And I don't know, how does it look to you guys? Does it look okay? That's a pretty leaf there. Kind of leggy, I think. I don't know. I'm not super impressed with this plant. We'll see what it does as it gets older. But I would say I pretty much, very much prefer just the regular micans. And I have a bunch of these. These are all micans propagations here. And then I have another one down here. Oh, right here. This one is actually in my shop, for sale in my shop. So if you are looking for a really nice micans, I have a really nice one for you here. Very full, very beautiful. Just love it. So down here is most of my plants that are for sale in my shop right now. So we have some tri-leaf wonder. Gets really big, beautiful leaves. And this is a pink splash. These are Syngoniums, by the way. This is a pink splash illusion, it's called. So pretty. And then my pink spot, which no one wants to buy. Look how cute it is. It's just adorable. I just love it. I have a bunch of these Syngonium pink spots. So cute. And then another Syngonium, since we're down here. This is the Syngonium angustatum. Really pretty. Nice pattern on this. And then of course we have some Hoyas. This is the Hoya obovata variegata. That's for sale in my shop. This gorgeous, absolutely stunning Hoya Lori Lynn. It's Hoya Kentiana Lori Lynn. Just so beautiful. And this giant, I need to redo the picture on this one. This is the Dischidia tonsuensis. That one is in my shop right now for sale. And I think that might be all my plants for sale right now. I do plan to get more into the shop. I just sold a bunch of plants this week, mailed off like 16 plants. This whole thing was just filled, but it cleared out, so I need to get more in the shop, obviously. All right, so what should we look at now? Okay, so over here, you guys might recognize these guys. This is the Mandula, my Epipremnum mandulas that I just propagated with you guys. I just did a whole care video on them, and I was really excited to see that. Let's see if I can. Yeah, every single one of these, it looks like they already have some growth popping out of them. So like here, see this? That's a new growth point coming out. Right there, see that little point? That is all new. That's the new growth starting on these propagations. So that's pretty exciting. They're doing really well, especially my global green one. Remember, if you remember, a reverted mandula is referred to as global green. And look at all these growth points. So much new growth on there. Not sure, there's probably not like much in the way of root growth yet, because it's been like maybe a week that these guys have been in here, but they're doing really well, keeping them very moist or wet, and I think it's doing the trick. And then up here are the Scindapsus that I just propagated, and these are not showing any, I don't think we have any new growth yet. Oh, I take that back, right there. That's gonna be a new leaf right there. I'd point to it, but all my hands are full. But right there will be a new leaf. So that's pretty exciting. So those are Scindapsus. That's the Scindapsus Jade Satin back here, and then this is the Silver Hero in the front. So over here we have some propagations I made of some Silver Glories, because I've had a few requests for this. So I think these are probably gonna do okay. We'll see. Back here we have some fuzzy petiole, Philodendron fuzzy petioles that I chopped up, my mother plant. See the fuzzy petiole? Really cute. I have like 4 of those guys. Back here I have a propagation of a Brantianum, Philodendron Brantianum. This one can go in my shop. That one. And here we have some, these are Hoya Matildes. Got some nice Hoya Matildes here. And then we have some Discidias here. This is this one. And more Discidias there. This one I've given up on this one, I think. This is the Hoya New Guinea Ghost. Hoya New Guinea Ghost. That is, I propagated this one, and the propagation, I believe, did not survive. This was the mother plant here. And I'm pretty sure this one is toast. So I don't know what happened. It didn't do well. But I do have another one. I picked up another one, so we'll see how that one does. I think it might just be a fussier, maybe fussier Hoya. Not sure. TBD. Let's see what else. Down here, I just propagated a bunch of Begonia Amphioxus. That's what those are. And then we have some Hoya Engleriana back here. This is a beautiful Hoya Pachiclata. Over here we have Hoya Silver Lady. And we have a, can't remember the name of this one. It will be on the screen. And then we have, was sold to me as a fungii, Hoya fungii, which is, it started having issues, and I brought it in here, and it's doing amazingly in here now, so, oops. And then we have my Hoya Crassipetiolata Splash, which I felt was struggling upstairs, so I brought it in here to just see what it does. And I think it's doing much better down here. So down here it is going to stay. I didn't realize just how much there is to look at in here. There is so much. So this here is Syngonium arias. Now these here they were wet sticks, and none of them are coming out yellow yet. This is yellow, but that's because it's a dying leaf. It's not the actual color of the plant. If you want to see what it should look like, it should look like these here. These are all Syngonium aureas, beautiful plants. Just gorgeous plants, love them. One of my favorite types of Syngoniums. Beautiful. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. Obviously they're reverted, so I don't know what to do with those. Let's see, over here we have some Dischidia rustifolia variegata, a couple of those, and I guess we'll move down here. So this is a bunch of Dischidia tonsuensis, and then we have some Dischidia one stripes, love those. Here we have some super cute Hoya cumingianas. And here, some more Syngonium. These are the Mojito, putting out some really pretty leaves. Now these also were wet sticks, but these actually are giving me proper leaves. So, especially love this one. And we have this one. So back here we have a few different Hoyas. We have Hoya rotundiflora, and then we have some Hoya serpens. These are Dischidias. This is Dischidia hirsuta, both of these. And then these are Hoyas, and these are the Colina, Hoya colina, species Biak. Really pretty. They have a really cute leaf shape. Over here is a Dischidia numularia and some Dischidia platyphylla. This is another, I put this one to the side because I was shocked by the size of this one leaf right here. So this is Hoya rotundiflora. And I guess if you give it really high humidity, perfect temperatures, it is going to give you some pretty big leaves. You can see the size difference. So cool. This is Hoya verticillata variegata. Not quite ready to go into the shop yet. I'm waiting for some more growth. They'll come out of there. Just kind of slow. Actually, all those leaves are new. I think it started with just this one. Those are all new leaves, but I'd like it to be a bigger plant before I put it into my shop. So these are Begonia Julau propagations that have gotten really tall. They're not quite showing the really pretty pink coloring. So I think I'm going to chop these. I'm going to chop them down to here, propagate these stems, and see what happens. I really want to get that really gorgeous pink coloring, like up here, like that. That's what it should look like. So before I sell it, I'd like to get that coloring on it. And there's just more Syngoniums. Syngonium angustatum, Syngonium lance leaf. Love this. Look how beautiful that is. So pretty. And some more pink splash and pink spot Syngoniums. We already saw the Arias. And here is more angustatums down here. And then these are a few different types of Hoyas. What do we have? I think this is the Huschkiliana yellow. That's a Biakensis splash. More Huschkiliana yellow. And another Huschkiliana yellow. And then this is a Epipremnum pinnatum elbow, I believe is what it's called. Cute. And then down here we have some of my Ripsalis. A couple of different, 2 or 3 different types of Ripsalis. Love these. The jungle cactus. Just love Ripsalis. Here we have some Syngonium elbows. And then we have some little Philodendron pink princess nodes. And then more Philodendron pink princess. I chopped up my one mother plant. And because it looked like it was struggling, the leaves were really limp on it. So, and I checked the roots weren't looking really good. So these are rehabbing, or we're just starting all over with these. They're planted in sphagnum moss, and we'll see what happens there. I may be having some pink princess in my shop at some point. And is that everything? I think that might be everything. Oh, my Cissus discolor. This is what is left of my mother plants. I sold a couple of propagations that look like this. And I'm keeping this one for myself. And this, I'm just letting it grow here, vine across the shelf. I think it looks pretty cute. I do have some wet sticks up here actually. So this is, let's see, probably needs water. Syngonium mojito. Yeah, that needs water pretty desperately. And then Syngonium aria, which these need water also. So I need to do that. I kind of forget about those. And yeah, I think that's it, you guys. I think that's the grow tent. Oh wait, no, I forgot up here. So we have some linearis, Hoya linearis, some Monstera siltipacana, and a Scindapsus exotica. And some begonias. These are what I have in my big terrarium upstairs. Really pretty. So like red vein, I think it's called. Cute. And oh, here's some Hoya Rebecca and some sigillatus that have seen better days. I guess that's why I forgot about them, because they're doing okay. They're not doing great. So we'll see what happens with these. All right, so now I think that is it. That is the grow tent. So that was my grow tent. What'd you guys think? I just absolutely love having that grow tent. It has helped me out so much because before I just used to use those trays with the dome covers on them, and they worked, but I have so much more space now for all of my propagations, because I have a lot of plants and I do a lot of propagations. So yeah, it really comes in handy. And also for those rehab purposes, it works great. So there was so much to look at. It took longer than I thought it would, because there's just so much, and hopefully I didn't forget anything, but I'm sure I did forget something. But you got the general idea of life in the grow tent, how things are looking, how things are growing, equipment I'm using, and I will link things in the description if you saw something you liked, you want to know where to get it, check the description. And if I don't have it in there, then just ask me, leave a comment. And yeah. So another thing before we go, I recently made a community post to you guys asking you for questions to, and if there's anything planty or personal you wanted to know about me. I want to do a Q&A style video. I'm going to be propagating some plants, and I thought we could do a Q&A during that video. I'll be, I think, mostly propagating Hoyas. And so I asked you guys if you could give me some questions, and you guys came through. Thank you so much to all of you that took the time to ask me a question. If you didn't see that community post, you can go to my community tab on the home page of my channel. Click that community tab and you will see it will be the first posting there, and you can ask me a question. Plant related or personal, it doesn't matter, either one, and I will be answering your questions during that video. So once again, thank you all who took the time to ask me questions. There's some great questions, all great questions, and all will be answered. So yeah, so I guess that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that grow tent plant tour. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. I do make new videos every week, and I would absolutely love to have you here as part of this community. I love this community. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I really hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.